Hi guys, welcome to Scott Family Homestead. I'm Christine and today we're gonna make a summer treat that we absolutely love in this house, and that is strawberry lemonade concentrate. We're gonna use my favorite fall canning book. It's a 3-ingredient recipe, perfect for beginners. Actually just opened this up and on the next page is sunshine rhubarb juice concentrate, so now I'm gonna have to make some of that naturally. But today we're gonna focus on strawberry lemonade. It is very, very easy. It's the perfect summer treat, and right now with it being strawberry season, it's the perfect time to get this canned up. We do not have strawberry picking near us quite yet. We're a couple weeks ahead, but I do have some pureed strawberries that I picked last year, pureed them and froze them just for this purpose. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna pull that out. It's really just strawberries, lemon juice, and sugar. Makes a perfect concentrate. You water it down later, or you can add a lemon lime soda or a tonic water or a ginger ale to it. It's really good a variety of ways, and it's perfect to bring camping with you. It's just a nice thing to have canned up in your pantry. It's a very acidic, safe thing to can, so if you are a beginner, this is an excellent place to start. One of the easiest recipes you can have. We got our Waterbath canner here. You can use any kind of stock pot that has a lid. It just needs some kind of rack. Now, if you don't have a rack, you can also use the rings of canning rings across the bottom. Just anything that will lift those jars up a little bit. Now we're gonna put our jars in here. This makes 7-pint jars, the recipe says. So we're gonna get those put in here. Our jar storage is getting very, very full. We have worked through a lot of our pantry, and so filling up some jars and getting them back on the pantry shelves will clear some of that space for us. I've got some really cool old ones in this batch too. This is like a square ball jar. I know there's a way with the ball writing to kind of age these jars. I'm not sure on this one. It says Perfect Mason and it has a 7 on it. Does anybody have a good resource for aging your ball jars? I inherited a whole lot of jars when we moved into this house, and then also from my grandmother and some of Ryan's family. We have a lot of jars. So I'm gonna put 8 of them in here. You wanna make sure you have enough water that it's going to cover the jars. With pressure canning, you only put a little bit of water into the pot, but with water bath canning, your jars need to be covered by at least 1 inch of water. So we're gonna put plenty of water in here. I'm gonna get this onto the stove and get it heating up, and then we're gonna move on to our next step. With this, we're gonna have a hot concentrate that we're putting in here. So you want your jars to be hot as well. You never wanna put anything hot into a cold jar. So that's why I always just warm up my jars in the water bath canner from the get-go, and then when we're ready to bottle everything up, the water's hot, the jars are hot, we're all good to go. So this week I got a nice delivery. I was offered to try some product from ForJars. So this isn't a review because I have never tried these before, but I did want to unbox it with you guys and kind of show you what they sent me. I don't actually know yet, so this is kind of exciting. We're gonna try their products today and see what we like. I have heard good things. I saw they were just at the Homestead Festival too. That looked like a lot of fun. It's something that I'd like to do in the future maybe, is go to some of these fun Homestead Festivals. Okay, so really nicely packed. All right, first up, we have a couple of these. They look like towels, maybe? Canning is easier with ForJars. I like that. All right, so we got a couple of those. This is packed. We've got regular mouth lids and bands. We also have, let's see, they sent a vacuum sealer kit. So this is really cool. This is a hand pump one. I like that. I have a vacuum sealer like this, but it takes batteries or you have to recharge it. So I like the option of not having to worry about cords or charging. So we'll try that out. That's perfect for all my freeze-dried goods. A kitchen timer. I actually think my kids might really like this because the timer that we usually use on the stove is very difficult to use. It always messes with your temperature and all kinds of stuff. Oh, how cute. It's like a little pot with a timer on the top. I love that. So this is 12 wide mouth lids with bands. So we got regular and wide. And then they sent 100 just lids, regular mouth, and 100 wide mouth lids. So these are without the rings, but we always reuse our rings anyways, so this is how I prefer to buy them anyways. They come in nice big bulk packages. That's cool. A jar opener, stainless steel jar opener. So there you go, it's a pretty heavy duty jar opener right there. And then the last thing in here, probably what I'm most excited about, is the stainless steel funnel set. The regular mouth and a wide mouth. It comes with a mesh strainer. You can never have enough funnels when you're canning. And I usually use plastic, so this would be an upgrade, definitely, from what I'm using. I love that. So this is what I have in my canning set, just the little plastic one. This is really nice. I'm excited about that. So a huge thank you to ForJars for sending this and reaching out to me. I am very excited about these products. Anything that is stainless steel versus plastic is a huge upgrade for me. Trying to replace everything with stainless, so that's very cool. And a nice little strainer with a small handle to go right into those funnels. As far as I can tell, you can't buy this kit on their website, but you can buy the products individually. And then we've got in here some little swag. We've got keychains, stickers. I love anything that comes with stickers. And here we go, share with friends and family, 15% off your first purchase, promo code FIRSTORDER at ForJars.com. So if you're interested in trying their products, there's a little discount code for you. Now let's try out these lids so I can give you a good review on them. We'll go ahead and use those today. I do want to mention that ForJars sent me this to have me try it out. They did not require that I make any content with it or anything like that, but I definitely wanted to do an unboxing with you guys so you could see the product that a lot of other people are talking about as well. All right, let's make our concentrate, what we're actually canning. So we're gonna start with a strawberry puree. If you have fresh strawberries, you're gonna do 6 cups of strawberries. It comes out to about 3.5 to 4 cups pureed once you puree it down. So this is last year's strawberries. You get those sweet berries that are red all the way through. It's definitely different than what you can buy at the store. And for us here in Wisconsin, we're coming up on strawberry season. Probably in the next couple weeks they'll start picking. Now we're gonna add lemon juice. We're gonna use 4 cups of lemon juice. I like to buy this jar lemon juice. I get this from Azure. I get it 3 jars at a time. Now with this recipe, it does say fresh squeezed lemon juice, which is rare for a canning recipe because generally you're adding lemon juice for acidity. When you buy lemon juice in a jar like this or in a bottle, it is tested for acidity, so that's why they generally recommend using that for your canning so you know you're getting the right level of acid. Everything in this recipe is very acidic. We are not relying on the acidity of the lemons for this recipe, so you can use fresh squeezed in this one. But I always buy it in the jars. It's just buy it in bulk that way. So we're gonna go 4 cups of lemon juice. Also, fresh squeezing 4 cups of lemon juice is a lot of lemons. Save on the work of that. All right, and this jar is a quart. I wanted to make sure that it was exact, but it is. So you can just pour one of these jars in there. Get your 4 cups of lemon. Now remember, this is a concentrate. You're not going to drink this directly like this. You're going to water it down by at least half. We usually pour a pint of this into a half-gallon jar and top the whole rest of it off with water because we water down juices for our kids. But you want to do at least a pint to a pint of water, or one of those other mix-ins, depending on what if you want it to be fizzy or not. So we got that. Next up is our last ingredient, sugar. We're going to put 6 cups of sugar in here. Hopefully it fits in this pan. I'm using a half cup, so you're going to see me do a whole bunch of these, but this sugar is from Azure as well. I buy it in bulk because we do big canning projects like this. Looks like it's just gonna fit in this pan. Okay, now we don't want to boil this, but we do want to bring it up to 190 degrees. So we're going to use a thermometer. Once it gets to 190 degrees, we're going to jar it up. While that comes up to temp, I'm going to get my lids and my rings washed in warm water. The heat can kind of help with the seals on lids. So go ahead and get those warmed up just a little bit. So the strawberry concentrate is going to come up to temperature pretty quickly here. I'm going to start removing jars out of my Waterbath canner. I have one of these mats. It's a silicone mat. I got this on Amazon, and it's one of my favorite things for canning. I lay out all my jars on this. Don't have to put towels or hot pads down. Love this thing. So I'm going to get my jars put over here so that we're ready to go as soon as that concentrate's ready to be bottled up. At this point, I'm also going to add a little bit of vinegar to my canner. It keeps water stains, if you have hard water, from accumulating on your jars. So I'm going to put just a splash into the Waterbath canner. Makes it so I don't have to scrub jars later. Now, I did check all of these over really well to make sure we didn't have any chips or anything on the top of these, especially with those old jars. You want to check that because it will cause a problem with the seal. We're at that point of hot but not boiling, so we can go ahead and fill our jars. We're going to leave just a 1/4 inch headspace on this. You're going to go right up near the top. Now the recipe says this makes 7 pint jars, but mine came up quite a bit short of that. I got about 5.5. And this half is going to get made into a quart of juice for my kids to have right away. They're going to love it. Alright, we're going to wipe the rims on this. I did make a little bit of a mess here. Grab our lids. We're going to go fingertip tight on these, not too much. You don't want to overdo it. And put these into our canner. Look at how pretty that color is. Love that. So I had to add a little bit of water to my canner, so I'm going to have to make sure we get this up to a boil before we start our timer. But these jars are going to be water bathed for 15 minutes and then adjust for your altitude. So depending on your altitude, you may have to add time to that. Where we are here in Wisconsin, we add 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and water bath these for 20 minutes. And that timer starts after it reaches a full boil with the lid on and all the jars in there. Since our concentrate is pretty hot, I'm gonna start with some ice. Top this quart off with some nice cold water. That right there is a nice glass strawberry lemonade. Kids want to try it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it sour? Sweet?
I lost the lemon. I went
Is it yummy?
That's pretty good.
There you go, sweetheart.
Thank you, Mom.
It's a little strong. I think because I put the ice in there,
Mom.
there's not enough water. But that's what they recommend. I put 1 jar of concentrate and 1 jar of water in there. It's pretty strong.
Mom,
It's like,
it's so delicious.
so delicious?
Yes.
So I think you can stretch it a bit further. I would do at least 2 pints of water to a pint of the concentrate. Okay, our 20 minutes is up. So we're gonna turn this off. We're gonna let this sit for about 5 minutes and then we can pull our jars out and see how they did. When you're canning, the best way to prevent siphoning or leaking underneath that lid is to adjust temperatures slowly. So that's why we're leaving these in the canner for a couple of minutes. We're gonna let it come down in temperature a little bit before we pull them out, and hopefully none of them will leak. Now you might get a little bit of foam in there, like mine. Some of that's just fruit. We call it fruit float. And this might separate out a little bit more as it cools. That's perfectly normal too. When you make it into your drink, you're gonna mix it all up anyways, so that's not a big issue. So far they look really good. As far as the ForJars products, I'm really happy with all of the stainless steel stuff. It was such a gift for them to send that to me, and I really do like that. The funnels, I'm gonna switch to using those for canning all of the time. I'm gonna use the lids for a couple more projects before I do kind of my full review on them and kind of what I think. But so far, I'm very impressed. These are a little too hot to seal yet. We're gonna wait just a little bit and see if they seal up. But I have pretty high hopes. I've heard a lot of good things about this company, so. Very excited to enjoy this over the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna do a couple more batches coming up this week. We've got some nice, cool, rainy days coming. It's perfect for canning, warm the house up. It was pretty chilly in the house this morning and the kids were upset with me because I said, we're not turning the furnace on until October. So I figured, let's do a project that'll warm the house up. Maybe we'll do some baking today, but this is a perfect summer canning project. Now, if you're like me and you just don't have a whole lot of time in the summer, things are getting kind of crazy, you do your strawberry picking, you can do what I did. Just take your 6 cups of strawberries, puree them, freeze them, and come back to it later. These jars would be like the perfect gift, or bring it along on a picnic or camping. What a fun drink to have. So thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys will give this a try, or if you're a beginner, I hope this inspired you to go ahead and try canning. It's so much fun. It opens up doors to a whole bunch of food options. We absolutely love it. Make sure you're following us on Instagram and Facebook, and definitely subscribe to our channel. I also have a canning playlist if you're interested in all things canning. Whole bunch of videos there that are already ready for you to binge watch now that we're getting into that canning season. So thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye guys.